Hello and welcome back to compiler programming. Today I'm gonna continue with the plan that we outlined in the last video that is necessary to make sort of negation be implemented as much as possible inside of the language itself instead of the compiler. And today I want to work a bit on this defining new operators. Not exactly that, maybe we'll get to define new operators, maybe we won't, but what I want to do is turn this dispatch function into something more dynamic. Because right now what happens is when we match an operator, we just go into this handle dispatch, token dispatch operator, and this is essentially a giant switch or if else statement that does the right thing depending on what we have passed to it. But that's not really great. So instead, I want to try somehow to delegate part of this job to something else. And in particular, I think in the end, operators will be a special type of macro, I guess, but we'll see. For now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change how this is all defined, because we have this scope entry type operator, and we have an operator here, everything is great, but besides precedence, we don't actually have anything. Would be great if we would get some kind of proc or callback that we can call, similar to what we have for statements. Again, maybe all of it will be eventually merged into one, and all of them will be just different types of procedural macros, maybe, I don't know. But for now, that's what's gonna happen. So this handle stuff, does it actually return anything? No, it doesn't even return anything, so let's keep it that way as well. We will call it token handle operator proc, and it will get compilation context, view, and payload. That actually sounds pretty decent. That should be enough for us to deal with this stuff. Whether this is all we need, we'll see, but for now that seems decent. So this is what will happen in here, where we say token handle operator proc, and this would be called handler. Okay, that should build because we are not actually using this anywhere. But we need to change slightly how some other things work. In particular, we are right now returning operator precedence right away from the scope, and that's not what I want to be doing. Entry tag type. Where is it? Lookup operator precedence. Yes. So instead of doing this, I will just do scope lookup operator, and it will return to me scope entry operator. Now the trouble is it will be not found, so we can do it like this. Out entry. So this is like an out parameter in C where we will assign this thing. Okay, scope entry operator. That's nice. We will return false here. I'm not sure if I should assert or not, but we'll see. Okay, entry override precedence. No, we return true and do star out entry is scope entry scope operator, like this. No, entry operator. Okay, now that breaks this stuff, which is fine. We can do bool found is true, and then scope entry operator entry. Let's call it scope entry or operator entry. And then we do this scope lookup operator stuff. Okay. That seems reasonable. It gets this, and it also gets operator entry, and actually we say bool found. And we can even unify this, say if not, then we say that it is unknown operator. This is actually quite convenient. And we have the same setup here. Last operator. Okay. So last operator entry, the same stuff, except that if we can't find last operator, I think that is a panic because we already have decided that it was an operator. We added it to the stack, so we shouldn't get here without an entry, if I understand correctly. Internal error. Expecting operators on the stack to, well, now that I'm thinking about it, do I want to put on the stack actually the full thing right away? Well, right, let's keep the change to minimum for now, but maybe I want to do the following to do. Have a special struct here to avoid lookups. So we could save the whole, like save the president name and all these jazz into here and have it at hand, which would be kind of nicer than what we have at the moment. But that is a separate change from what we are doing right now. Maybe we'll do it next, maybe we won't. For now, we can just so to be resolvable. Okay. Last operator and last operator entry. Okay. We don't have precedence. That's because it should be operator entry precedence, I guess. Okay. Basically the same setup here. It's even, I think, less awkward than it was before. Because before we had this special precedence value that is not actually a precedence, which is not great. Okay, scope lookup operator, operator entry, that sounds good. So if we found one, then we try to handle it, right? And if we didn't find, then We say that it's not an operator, and we continue as we did before. New operator, what we were passing before, token source. Okay. That sounds good. We don't even need the entry here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass in a temporary object over here so that it's clear that we don't even care about this return value. We just have to conform with the function. We could do like scope has operator or something, but it's okay like this. It's fine. Okay, let's rerun the tests and verify that everything is still okay. Good. What episode are we on? As you can see, I did a bunch of things in between the videos, so if you want to follow the progress, you can take a look at the GitHub. The link is in the description in every video, so it's very easy to find. We have episode 135. Episode 135. Allow storing proc on the operator scope entry. Okay, we allow to store that proc, but we don't actually look at it or in fact do anything else useful with it. Okay, dispatch, handle operator. Okay, this is where we deal with this stuff. And dispatch proc. We pass this global dispatch proc, but what we can do is we can actually look at the that's an interesting thing. So I think besides the proc, what we also need to say is how many stack entries we need to get from it. So this would be something like U64 and argument count, maybe. Yeah, that sounds okay. Let's just use that and continue. And then if we decide that it needs to be something else, then we do something else. Anyway, so here the following is going to happen. We would say that if operator, when do we dispatch? We dispatched opt operator. Okay. And popped operator is basically last operator entry. Okay, so if last operator entry handler, then we do the following. So first we check if we have enough things in the token stack. So if dynamic array length of token stack is less than what our entry says is the argument count, then this is a big no-no and we need to tell the user that they are wrong. Return false. Operator blah. You don't even need to do this, which you can just say this. And then we would have it last operator, and here I can say something like operator, whatever it was, required. Okay, we need to have append number. So it required that many. Argument count. This is a bit awkward. I need to turn this into a regular printf or something. This I thought I had a good idea about how to do it, but apparently that was a terrible idea how I decided to do it. So, but it's fine. I can go in and clean this up. Okay, required. Got something like this. You're really unhappy. Why are you really unhappy? Because this is probably like this. Yes, we need to have a source range, which we do not really have. So that's a bit awkward. It's not a reason why we would want to store the operators differently than what we do right now. I think that if nothing else, operator stack should at least be turned into a token, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Argument counts. This is this stuff. And what else is problematic? This needs to be a star. And here we will do source range 0. Actually needs by value, which is good. Okay, you don't any longer have a popped operator. That should be last operator. Okay, let's verify that we still work because we haven't actually changed anything again. We're just sort of gearing it up slowly, one by one. Okay, great, this works. Now we have a handler, we have the right amount of arguments. We need to say token view is that's going to be slightly awkward, but okay. Argument view. So we have tokens, which is okay, they are in the reverse order. Okay, so I can't actually do it that way, but I can improve it, I guess, like this. So it kind of sucks that I will have to have a dynamic array in here because the problem is on the stack, the operators are in reverse order. I guess I could do something really funky where like I fix them inside the stack and then I slice them up, but for now I will just do an easy thing and just say to do maybe move arguments in place on the maybe reverse on the stack. Array const token pointer args is dynamic array make of this stuff, and we can actually know the capacity. So capacity is this thing, right? That's a number of arguments. Okay. Destroy of args. So the view then is pretty straightforward. It's a token view from a token array of args, and in here we just say for u64i is 0, I is less than, let's put this as a convenient thing, argument count, argument count, less than argument count, plus I. So we are sort of reversing right now the order of arguments here. Dynamic array push of args and dynamic array pop of token stack. Okay. And I guess we do continue here. Or we can just do else and not have a continue. Okay. Last operator handler. You will get context. You will get args view. Let's call it args view. And you will have 0. The 0 is basically just if I decide I want to pass some extra data. This is a standard C trick. Okay. Again, we still haven't really done anything. We never get into this branch, hopefully, so everything should still work. Indeed, it does. And now is where we are changing how we are doing things. So we need to figure out one of the, well, I guess we can do negation, right? Because it's pretty easy. It only needs one thing. It has already a handler that is very similar to what we want. We just need to have another parameter here, which is void star unused payload. Okay, it returns a token. Okay. So let's remove this stuff from here. Wait, which one am I changing right now? I'm changing this page operator. No, I was changing the wrong one. This is a constant one. So this one actually stays as it was. And it is the next one where I deal with these things. Yeah, so it's this one that we get rid of. Okay, that will build but doesn't work. Now we need to move this stuff out of here and so that we can actually refer to it in other places in the program. Okay, and I think it was in value.c in program init is where we are defining all of these jazz. Yeah, so scope define operator. This is no longer how I want to do it. We do not have this thing anymore. Instead, we will do this stuff ourselves. That will cause a bunch of errors right now to happen, but it's fine. Scope, define, operator, precedence, okay. Yeah. So something like this. And precedence 20. Okay, so this would be a very large thing. I guess what I want to do is for now, I will maybe undo the dispatch so that we can actually verify that it still works after we change the stuff here. Right, okay, so this is round, then we have a dot, which is 19. So this all goes away. And then we have this stuff, which is also 19. And then the next thing is macro, which is also 19. Then we have at 18. And then we have minus x, 17. We have and 16. This one at 15, and we can copy paste a bunch of them. So this is slash, actually like this, ampersand star slash, they're all 15. No, this one needs also percent. Then we have a bunch of stuff that is plus minus. So plus is 10, minus is 10, less, more, and so on. They sit at precedence level 8. And I roughly modeled this from Go precedence, I think, which seems pretty reasonable. If we need to tweak it, we can tweak it for now. There's definitely no spec for the language or anything even remotely resembling that, so it's not like we will break anybody, as nobody's really using this, at least right now. Okay, so like this, and we are almost done. Maybe there is a good macro I can later on make to make this easier, but if not, that's also okay. Honestly, I expect that a lot of these things will not be defined here maybe later on, but somewhere in the code of the prelude of the compiler. Okay. That's hopefully all of it. Scope define. Predefined extern static. Okay. Let's try to run this. Okay, great. Still going strong. And I will not actually remove this for now. I'll stay here because we should not ever get here. Instead, I will do now the following. So you are getting more arguments. We have handler, which is this, and we have argument count, which is 1. Formal parameter to different from declaration. That is because, yeah, I have defined it to not return anything, I think. And instead it should return const token star. Formal parameter 2 different from declaration. So he's still not happy about this. Why aren't you happy? Okay, let's check. Compilation context, token view, and payload. Oh, you accept the token. That's okay, we can fix that. Handle negation, token view, assert view length is 1. So if we got here, we expect that whoever called us to make sure that there is a right number of arguments. And then we say const token star token is view token view get view 0. Okay. Now we have a problem that this is not matching the definition, which is somewhere here. Okay. Making progress. Now we need to patch things here where we say token view args view is the following. So tokens is token and length is 1. And now we can pass this into here. Different const qualifiers. Yeah, that should work, I think, but we can verify now. So again, I will remove this for a second to verify that the old thing still works, that I haven't messed up that token view thing. It does, and now we are finally ready to enable this and do a dispatch. So hopefully this means that we never actually get here. Should not get here. But before we do, we need to do more stuff in the dispatch. Where is dispatch? Dispatch operator. Handle operator. Where are you? Yeah. So in here, we actually need to do one more thing, because now const token star result, if result else, I'm not sure what should be done here. Return false. Should can't write. I'm saying should we check something here? I don't know. We'll think about that. For now, it gets the result and it will push that result onto the token stack. Dynamic array push token stack result. Okay. That seems reasonable. Potentially uninitialized. Yeah, because now I did this result token is 0. Let's do it this way, so you don't complain. Okay, so now that's the interesting part, and I think I will straight up do it inside of the debugger so we can see if we are actually here. Let's try. Okay, so we did not get where we wanted to go. That kinda is not great. So we do put this as a scope entry, but why do we end up in here? Do we call token dispatch operator from somewhere directly? Yes, we do. That is unfortunate. So that just means that I actually need to remove all this stuff from here and change how we are doing things. Basically, this dispatch proc will need to get the scope entry operator. Otherwise, it will not know what to do with this stuff. Okay. Well, we can try that. So besides the name, we will also last operator entry. Where are you? Parse. No. We are in here. Okay. I can actually do it this way for now. And here we can say result token. And we need to pass in the scope entry operator star operator entry. Okay, how are we doing? Need to change a bunch of things here. Dots to arrows. Return false, return. Okay, another arrow. Need to assign it to this one. Okay. So there is somewhere here dispatch. Maybe it's defined here. Oh yeah, okay, it's defined here. Scope entry operator entry. And we don't have the entry for this stuff. Right. Well, I guess we'll have to make one. Is it misaligned somehow? Yes, it should be like this. Okay, too many actual parameters. Is it too many actual parameters? I'm confused. Now here we don't need to pass. Wait. What was the actual error here? The actual error, yeah, okay. So the actual error is different from what I thought it was. It is about the fact that this needs to also get the operator entry. Okay. Yeah. Here we need to do some extra work now. So no, it shouldn't be 0. It should be whatever we were doing in token handle operator. Actually here, or dispatch operator. So here we need to get no, it was actually in handle operator. Okay. Yeah, we need to get that entry and pass it to whoever needs it. So something like this. Okay, and the same thing here. I do need to think a bit harder about constant versus non-constant expression because right now there is a lot of duplication. I don't like that. But I also am not sure if I can merge them just yet because I don't have a good idea of what it's supposed to look like when it is merged. Okay, so that was a lot of moving things around. Now we are ready to try again. Let's make a stop here and see if we get there. Well, that's better. At least now we are in the right place. We have one argument. We have that on the stack, so that's great. Actually, this is unnecessary for one argument, so we can't speed this up. But the whole thing should be sped up. So we have argument, we go inside of here, we verify everything is great. I think we can try to run it till the end and see if it still all works out. Apparently it does not because now we need to remove this stuff. And this needs to go into else. Okay, that should be better. And we are good. So that's basically the trick now, which means instead of these kind of static dispatch on the operator by their name, we have a dynamic one where we can put things on the scope and dispatch from there, which means that I will need to now go through all of this stuff and slowly convert it out from this original form into the new dispatch. And later on, this also means that we should be able to define operators as on the basically in the in the program source code. I haven't slept today much, so I'm a bit off, but okay. Yeah, let's commit that stuff. And maybe we can do a bit more cleanup before I wrap this app. Commit episode 135. Use dynamic operator handler for unary minus. Right, so right now we have it hard-coded, but as part of this thing, we should be then pointing it to some other function that is actually doing this stuff for us. For now, this is just this kind of handler setup. Okay, one thing I wanted to do here is to do, I guess I want to change what the operator stack is. So operator stack will be something else. And I guess, so dispatch proc, before we do it here, we need to say type def struct operator stack entry, and then type def dynamic array type of this, and the stack entry will do the following. It will be, Yeah, let's put this scope entry, or should I just put things directly? No, let's put the scope entry here. Scope entry, operator scope entry. And it should also have const token star token. So this is what will be here. Now that will cause a bunch of errors everywhere, but that's okay. Actually, there should be array operator, and this is array. Okay, and now let's deal with it one by one. So operator, stack entry, last operator. Yep, we don't need this check anymore. This goes away. And we do last operator. Scope entry precedence. Last operator scope entry. Okay, and we need to push the new operator on the stack. And well, that's fine. We just need to create this new object. This would be like this. I will do token. So yeah, instead of passing in the slice, we will pass in the token. Slice or token? That's actually an interesting question, because for some operators we create them like the name of the operator is very different from the token, and this could cause problems, I guess. That is an interesting question. Maybe I don't want to pass in the token, but rather I will put the name and source range directly. Yeah. We also don't need to pass operator stack to dispatch proc. Maybe. Dispatch proc. Why do you need operator stack? You don't need operator stack. You also shouldn't need this, and we would say slice not name, but symbol. Okay, well, let's call it source since it's called source in other places. And then we have source range, source range. So something like that. You do need operator stack, but you also want to have slice source range, source range. Okay, lookup operator, let's put it like this. So there is less changes to the code. Source range token view. Yeah, now we don't need this. We can just use the source range directly, which is great. For the proc, we honestly just need to pass this stuff, I think. Yeah, now this makes a bit more sense. Token, not token, now it's called source is new. Operator, source range is source range. And then scope entry is operator entry. Okay. We don't need to pass operator stack there. You need to get operator stack entry. Yeah, it should be operator stack entry. Okay, that's progress. Now here we need to pass a slice and we need to pass a token source range. Is it correct? Yes, now the problem is this token constant dispatch is accepting the wrong thing. Or is it? Yes, you need to accept array operator stack entry. Right? You're obviously unhappy here because, yeah. So array operator stack entry. Okay, you're still unhappy. What are you unhappy about? You're unhappy about that the callbacks don't match. And the callbacks don't match because you don't need these and you need basically operator stack entry, operator entry. Yeah, okay. Operator source. Oh, let's actually call it operator entry. And then we do slice operator is operator entry source. Okay. Here. Okay, we will do. So we need to get it off this stack. Operator stack entry is oops, this. We don't need this check anymore. And it should be just this, right? Yeah, okay, that's way nicer than it was before. I like that. We need to do now the same thing in here. Yeah, so you need to change what you do. Array, operator, stack entry, operator, entry. And we can do slice operator. Is operator entry source. Okay, you don't need this stuff anymore. This is not array, this is just this. Operator entry scope entry handler, scope entry handler. Okay, what am I missing? Okay, dot here. And great. Now you need to have token source range. Token handle operator. Yeah, you also need to change the type of this thing. Operator stack entry, and we are almost there. Operator token source range. Okay, that was quite a complicated thing to do, but let's see if we succeeded. And we did. Great. I'm very happy with how this is shaping up. I think there was this thing about provide source range 0. I think I added it somewhere. Yeah, here we can now do operator entry source range. Now we're good. Great. Okay, let's commit this. Episode 135 refactor. Store handler information on the operator stack when parsing. This allows to correctly map source ranges and avoids unnecessary lookups in the scope. Yep, it's good. That is basically all for today. I'll spend next time programming, cleaning this all up, making all of these things dynamic so we can hopefully in the next video, maybe the one after, actually try to define some operator in the userland in the source code that you can type. For now, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see